but I'm going to introduce Bunker Hill Community College has been a longtime sponsor of this event. Tonight they're joined by a co-sponsor, Verizon. We're going to be hearing from both of them. First, we will hear from the long-standing sponsor, Bunker Hill, and John Pitcher. But what I'd like to do now is to ask you to give John a great big round of applause as he comes up here.
Oh, thanks, Stephen. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, and good evening. Stephen said my name is John Pitcher. I'm the Vice President and CFO at Bunker Hill Community College. And again, we're pleased to be a long-standing sponsor of this annual event. At the table with me tonight, we have, just sitting down, Frances Jarvis. Just raise your hand, Frances. She's Assistant to the President. Kaylee Cofield, Executive Assistant to the CFO. Oh, that's me. Yeah, thanks, Kaylee. Laura Rubin, our Dean of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics. Austin Gilliland, Dean of Professional Studies. Let me see. Franklin Taylor, one of our Associate Provosts at the college. And finally, Chief Bobby Barrows, Chief of our Campus Police. Thank you. If you haven't had a chance to see them, maybe you can stop by during some of the breaks and just chat with us a little bit. We've already had a chance to meet some of you. Just a little bit about Bunker Hill. Bunker Hill Community College, a multi-campus institution. Our main campuses are in Charlestown and in Chelsea, but we also have a site in the South End. We have a site in Quincy. We're in East Boston, Chinatown, and we have quite an active site up at Malden High School, about 1,000 students up there. We're the largest of the 15 community colleges in Massachusetts, and we serve about 18,000 students a year. 2/3 of our students are the first time that their families have ever been in college. The college also enrolls nearly 600 international students from 80 countries, speaking more than 75 languages. So when the college is busy, which it's not right now because of COVID, it's interesting to walk down the halls during the changing classes and just hear the different languages that are available. 60% of our students are women. The average age of our student is 26. We're one of the most diverse higher education institutions in the Commonwealth, with 67% of our students of color. We are an Asian American and Pacific Islander serving institution. Now, that's called ANAPISI, and because we have at least 10% population, we have a grant from the federal government that helps support that population. We're also an Hispanic serving institution, which means that at least 25% of our students are of Hispanic origin. We have a grant for that as well. The college offers certificates, an associate's degree, early college, and dual enrollment. Early college dual enrollment, in case you don't know, is where our professors go out to the high schools and they teach classes, or sometimes the classes are taught on our campus at one of our locations, and the students get both college credit and high school credit for graduation. We've already talked to one of the city councilors in Somerville to activate, we have that program, but to activate some other adult education classes with Somerville. We have non-credit courses, corporate training, and what do we have? Oh, industry-specific training. Now, since 2012, almost a decade, we have served over 5,000 Somerville residents. More than 50% of them receive some kind of financial aid. We currently have 346 Somerville residents as students, and there are 27 students from the 2021 graduating class. We're proud to serve Somerville and grateful for the partnerships with the city and various organizations. I want particularly to thank the City of Somerville, of course, Mayor Joseph Curtatone, the Welcome Project, the city's premier immigrant serving organization, East Somerville Main Street, which is part of a nationwide movement supporting local businesses, and the Community Action Agency of Somerville, which helps local families achieve financial security. Together with the city, we are offering free English as a second language classes and customer service training to low-income Somerville residents. Now, this has been made possible through a generous support from the City of Somerville's Job Creation and Retention Trust Board. We received a grant of $250,000 from the city in September of 2020 to support this program. We've had 125 students enrolled in the program. We currently have 45 residents enrolled in the program. We're excited to see this program continue. If you want to learn more about the program, see one of us afterwards. We'll connect you with our Dean of Workforce and Economic Development, Kristen McKenna. So, in closing, President Pam Ettinger, who could not be here tonight, and the college community would like to send our best wishes to the mayor as he wraps up 18 years serving the city of Somerville. And of course, congratulations to Mayor-elect Ballantyne. Bunker Hill Community College looks forward to continuing our relationship with the city, the school, as we move forward. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Craig Doris. I am the Associate Director of Business Accounts for Verizon for the greater Boston area. I've got some of my Verizon team here with me that supports all the small and medium business customers in throughout the Boston area. I'd like to lead off with a quote from our CEO of Verizon Business Group. And she said, throughout the pandemic, we've seen our small business customers reimagine the way their business uses technology and revolutionize the way they work with customers, partners, and employees. I think that goes to speak a little bit about what we've seen each and every day as we go out into the field and we start to talk about, technology and how it can help our customers. Citizen Verizon is Verizon's plan for economic, environmental, and social advancement. And through this, we're committed to helping 1 million small businesses connect to resources to help them thrive in the digital economy by 2030. One way we're doing this is through the Verizon Small Business Recovery Fund, a partnership with the Local Initiative Support Corporation to provide grants of up to $10,000 to small businesses, particularly in historically underserved communities. To date, this partnership has supported 777 small businesses, 86 of those here in Massachusetts, with nearly $7.5 million invested, with about 900,000 of that being here in the state of Massachusetts. We've helped a diverse population of businesses see growth potential within their communities. Whether it be a customized digital phone system that can integrate with your mobile phones, providing fixed wireless access to your remote and your home workers that are now such a part of our regularly scheduled day, or just simply trying to do more with less. Verizon can help, and we're here to help. And I'm going to roll just a quick video here that's going to talk a little bit about some of the customers that we've helped and how we've helped them through the pandemic. So thank you very much. And I'd like to congratulate on behalf of Verizon and all the people that are here with me, congratulate all the honorees. Thank you again. Have a great day.
Back in January 2021, when we knew we had to stand up some mass vaccination clinics, we quickly thought of Verizon. Metro Health is a very large hospital in Cleveland, Ohio, and they reached out, wanted to know what Verizon could do for them. They had a need in the market to quickly deploy COVID vaccine clinics. So they needed some primary connections and backup connections to places that didn't have good internet connection.
Some of those locations that we have been at and will be at included homeless shelters, community centers, schools, restaurants, even parking lots, county jail, and the fairgrounds.
The team that serves this region was on the phone within a matter of days talking to our IT team on various solutions.
The Verizon Crisis Response Team assisted Metro with activating over a dozen routers that are still being used today in vaccination centers around the area. They're being utilized by their healthcare workers and their first responders to input data while on site and on scene at these vaccination centers, really just to enable them to stay connected. These are Cradlepoint routers that they provided, and Verizon provided the SIM cards and the data service at no charge.
Accounts sometimes think that we deal mainly with cell phones and tablets, but the breadth of our portfolio far outreaches just those basic solutions that they appreciate, not only the solution partners that we have in the field, but healthcare-specific solutions that they may not have realized that we played with.
We provided life-saving vaccination
Verizon was a big part of that distribution.
I find Verizon to have been a true partner with Metro.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Gatlin. I'm the outgoing chair of the Chamber of Commerce. It's my privilege to open tonight's celebration and to welcome all. Thank you. To welcome all of you to the 75th anniversary annual dinner and awards night for the Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to start off here by recognizing 5 people that I know you all know. I'd ask to stand when I call your name, and I'd like to ask the rest of us to sort of hold your applause to the end, but then get really raucous with it and go crazy. First up is Mayor Emeritus Gene Brune, who was our mayor here from 1980 to 1990. Save it, save it. We also have Mayor Mike Capuano, who was mayor from 1990 to 1999, and U.S. Congressman from 1999 to 2019. Mayor Dorothy Kelly Gay, who was mayor from 1999 to 2004. Our current mayor, Joe Curtatone, from 2004 to present, and a few more weeks. And Mayor-elect Katiana Ballantyne, who will take office on January 3rd. Now you can applaud. 40-plus years and counting of outstanding leadership. Thank you very, very much. Now, also, please join me in thanking this evening's sponsors, in addition to Bunker Hill Community College and Verizon, we just heard from. Also want to thank the beautiful centerpieces that we see. We want to thank Adam Dash and Associates, Gentle Giant Moving Company, and Tufts University. And for our delightful reception, East Cambridge Savings Bank. It's really a thrill to be here this evening, to be part of the celebration, especially after the past year and a half that we've all endured. Our personal and professional lives have been upended by the pandemic in ways we just never imagined. But in the past year and a half has shown us anything, it's shown us that we are a resilient bunch. We've learned to adapt and to keep moving forward. Just think of the ways that we have changed. Making my home at Winter Hill Bank, I can at least speak for the banking industry and some of the more radical changes that we've gone through. It wasn't so long ago that when someone walked into our lobbies wearing a mask, we placed our finger on the alarm button. Now we encourage masks. When we see customers standing at our counters filling out a deposit slip, we try to stop the spread of germs by telling them to keep the pen. We no longer chain them to the counters. All of us have gone through facing delays with the U.S. Postal Service that had their own issues because of COVID, and that's affected life in banking as well. When you happen to be late with your loan payment, our collectors will call you up to see what's going on, and when you tell us that the check is in the mail, we believe you. While I joke about the changes, we also must remember there's a more serious side to all of these past months. Many have struggled to keep their businesses going. Some have not been successful in doing so. And others, the struggle goes on, but with much uncertainty for the future. More devastating is the loss of family members, friends, and coworkers. But being here tonight is truly a celebration. I ask that you give yourself a well-earned round of applause for your resilience. And for those we have lost, I ask for a moment of silence. Thank you. At this point, I am pleased to introduce and to pass the gavel to our new chairman of the board, Adam Portney. Adam, where are you? Come on up. Right in front of me. Adam is fortunate to be a resident of Somerville. For the past 6 years, he's been a commercial loan officer at Middlesex Federal and joined the Chamber shortly after beginning his tenure there. He has served on various committees in the Chamber, including the Government Affairs Committee and the Membership Committee. He has, for a number of years, helped organize the Chamber's annual Taste of Somerville event, and has been very active with numerous other activities, such as the After Hours event and helping us out with our golfing outing. Adam, the gavel is yours.
Thank you very much. Don't go too far. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you to the board and all the members of the Chamber for entrusting me with this chair. I'm truly humbled. It's an honor to serve, like some of our past chairs that are here tonight, Kevin Gatlin, Sandra McGoldrick, and Tom Bent. I'd also like to thank my colleagues for being here, and for the chair of our family, my wife Allison, who made it here tonight as well. You can all that. And now I would like to present the Distinguished Service Award to Kevin Gatlin. Kevin comes to us from Winter Hill Bank and has been a member of the board for approximately 15 years. Kevin has served on multiple committees, including government affairs, membership, personnel, and golf, which he chaired for 8 years. Still doesn't shoot. Kevin served as a treasurer for 2 years and has been our chairman for the last 3. We're happy to present Kevin with this award. And I will find it right here. In lieu of our traditional rocking chair, we will be making a donation to the Walnut Street Center, where Kevin serves on their board. Thank you again. So welcome again to the 75th anniversary of the annual Dinner and Powder House Awards. When Stephen told me this was in person and not over Zoom, the first thing I did was, well, find my pants. What keeps our chamber strong is our unique and diverse community. Over the past decade, I've watched our community grow along with my family, my career, and of course the size of our rats. I try not to miss a porch fest, no offense. I try not to miss a porch fest, honk fest, dance party, or any other fest or mash. The past 2 years, like Kevin said, has been incredibly difficult. But I couldn't be prouder of how this business community has stood up for one another. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I know it's not easy. I'd like to ask our new board members to rise when I call their names. Joshua Philbrook, Rachel Meisner, Charlie Ball, Jack Connolly, Jabba Tukasi, Jeff Ginsburg, and Peter Majane. And congratulations to all that were here. And now, please welcome Emily Duquette of Triumvirate to announce this year's Powder House Award recipients.
Hi. The Chamber's awards are named after Somerville's famous old powder house, which was originally a windmill, a business built around 1703. We would appreciate it that each recipient, when you hear your name, please approach this side of the stage to have your photo with Chair Adam Portney. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, okay. Kedrick Roy. Kedrick Roy, a PhD candidate at Harvard University, is committed to supporting ongoing community discussions about the history of race in America and to examining our present moment within its wider historical context. His public outreach work has been featured by local and national outlets, including CBS Sunday Morning, the Christian Science Monitor, and the National Football League. Kedrick has also served as an exhibition curator for the American Writers Museum in Chicago and is currently working on an exhibition at Harvard, as well as an upcoming documentary film about race and art in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. He is also a Somerville Museum trustee. A former military nuclear operations officer, instructor of English at the U.S. Air Force Academy, and award-winning teaching fellow at Harvard, Kedrick has received research support from the Ford Foundation, Mellon Foundation, and Harvard Center for American Political Studies. The 2021 Powder House Award for Distinguished Service to Greater Somerville goes to Kedrick Roy. Kedrick Roy. David Marr graduated from Suffolk University and for more than 20 years was Director of Development and Public Relations for Cambridge Family and Children's Service. He was a member of the school committee, city council, and twice the mayor of Cambridge. He is the president and CEO of the Cambridge Chamber of Commerce. Recently, our friends at the Cambridge Chamber worked with us to reimagine our separate taste events. David led a shared summertime dining passport program that helped bring hundreds of customers to scores of restaurants in both cities. Patrons received $100 in dining dollars for future visits. Restaurants received much-needed business, and our dining workforce received wages and tips. David was always one to share his wisdom of business, economic, and community leadership, and his most capable staff and the riches of Cambridge. The 2021 Powderhouse Award for Business Neighbor of the Year goes to David Marr. Thank you, David. Jess Willis. In Davis Square, Jess is the woman behind Foundry on Elm, the trendy gastropub for refined pub eats, craft beer, and whiskey-centric spirits. Saloon, the charming subterranean cocktail bar serving vintage cocktails, bar snacks, and light meals. And the Rockwell Theater, an inclusive 150-seat venue showcasing music, comedy, theater, burlesque, variety, and everything in between. In Union Square, Jess is the woman behind Vera's, a cocktail-centric neighborhood hangout with straightforward comfort fare, and The Independent, the restaurant and pub with a neighborhood vibe offering refined bar bites, including oysters, a daily catch, and a number of delicious burgers using local ingredients. Citywide, Jess is the woman who is chair of the Chamber's Dining and Nightlife Group. You know the saying, if you want something done, ask a busy person. If you want something well done, ask Jess Willis. Our dining and nightlife chair is the person behind organizing and rallying restaurants for the Taste of Somerville, dining passports, licensing commissioning matters, as well as fire department, DPW, and ISD issues. In the middle of the pandemic, Jess also served on the mayor's advisory group and the governor's advisory group, helping to protect and serve us all. The 2021 Powderhouse Award for Excellence in Dining and Nightlife goes to Jess Willis. Food for free. Food for free. Food for Free began in 1981 with a focus on bridging the gap between waste and want. With borrowed trucks, volunteers gathered fruit, vegetables, and bread, food that would have been thrown away, and delivered it to meal programs, pantries, and shelters. Since those early days, Food for Free has grown into a recognized leader in addressing food insecurity. Food for Free envisions a future where everyone in our community, regardless of age, income, or ability, has consistent access to fresh, healthy, delicious food. Through a combination of food rescue and transportation services, Food for Free provides year-round access to fresh fruits and vegetables and brings food to students, seniors, and others most at risk of hunger. Food for Free addresses not only short-term hunger, but also the long-term health effects of food insecurity and poor nutrition while reducing food waste. Based in Cambridge and serving the region, Food for Free recently expanded to Somerville. Welcome to Somerville. The 2021 Powderhouse Award for Nonprofit of the Year goes to Food for Free. Okay. Now, please welcome the Chamber's Chair of the Nominations and Awards Committee Vladimir Benoit of the Somerville YMCA.
Thank you, Emily. In addition to Emily Duquette, I would like to thank our fellow members of the Chamber Committee, Jennifer Blundell, Kathleen Finn, Jay Phillips, and all the members of the Chamber members and the members of the public who nominated businesses and individuals for the 2021 awards. Spark Charge. Spark Charge started in a dorm room and has grown into an industry-changing leader. Their goal is to make electric vehicle ownership easy. Their first product is the Roadie, which is the world's first and only ultra-fast portable EV charging system. Next, the rising demand for mobile charging access, Spark Charge is creating the world's first mobile and intelligent on-demand EV charging infrastructure. The smartphone app lets EV drivers order delivered right to their car. The app allows EV drivers to cut the cord and go beyond the lagging infrastructure. Spark Charge does not just make the best EV charger, they make EV charging easy. The 2021 Powderhouse Award for Green Business of the Year goes to Spark Charge. Right Hand Robotics. Right Hand Robotics was founded in 2015 by a Doppler Challenge-winning team from the Harvard Biorobotics Lab, the Yale Grab Lab, and MIT. Right Hand Robotics builds a data-driven intelligent picking platform, providing flexible and scalable automation for predictable order fulfillment. Right Pick, our robotic piece picking solution, enables retailers to rise up to the new realities of online commerce. In just a few short years, our company has assembled a world-class team that's committed to our mission and vision. They've developed key partnerships in Europe, Japan, and the US, and deployed fleets of robotics for customers around the world. The people at Right Hand say their space inspires them to create the new generation of logistics innovation. Their space is in Union Square at the historic post office where they design and build robots. The 2021 Powderhouse Award for Small Business of the Year goes to Right Hand Robotics. Denise Provost. Denise, attorney, is a graduate of Bennington College, Boston University Law. She was assistant city solicitor in the 1980s, alderman from 2000 to 2006, and state representative from 2006 to 2021. Throughout her career in public service, she has been a voice of government, transparency, and for social justice, urban planning and environment. Her advocacy helped bring all kinds of legislative victories, from marriage equality to assuring full legal equality for transgender persons, from stopping trains hauling ethanol through our commuter rail tracks to helping bring the Green Line extension. Among her many awards were Massachusetts Municipal Lawyers Association Legislator of the Year, recipient of the Disability Policy Consortium's Award for Public Service, Walk Boston's Golden Shoe Award for her work on traffic, pedestrian, and bicycle safety, the 2021 Powderhouse Award for Excellence in Public Service goes to Denise Provost. John Fenton. John Fenton is the commercial real estate investment professional at DLJ Real Estate Capital Partners. John is co-managing Boynton Yards, a 1.75 million square feet life science equity joint venture. Boynton Yards is a master plan development approved for 1 million square feet of lab office space and 350 apartments with a project value of over $1 billion. John has more than 25 years as a principal, making and managing over 150 investments and dispositions worth $2 to $3 billion, and managing equity joint venture development projects worth $4 billion. At Boynton Yards, his team has embraced summer vision. They have delivered on our promise of successfully building and leasing the first lab building in Somerville's history at 101 South Street, creating 800 new jobs, a quarter acre of civic space, $3 million to Affordable Housing Trust, $700,000 to Jobs Retention Trust, and $3 million in annual commercial tax revenue. Their full master plan will ultimately create 4 times of what has already been delivered. The 2021 Powder House Award for Excellence in Economic Development, John Fenton. Thank you, everyone. Please enjoy your dinner and conversation.
All over the globe, they're high-end, and we're the beneficiary of having their help behind the scenes to make all of this work. So to the people of VDA tonight, and then throughout the year when you see the chamber produce anything well. Standing over here is Joanne Haley, who's the administrator, makes it all happen. I just want to mention the chamber members and chamber board of directors help out a lot of nonprofits and charitable organizations throughout the year. This year they made a special endorsement of a long-standing organization called the Somerville Museum. The Somerville Museum is about arts, history, and culture. The organization's over 100. Its building is going to be 100 years old in just 3 or 4 years. And there's a project going on right now that will preserve art, history, and culture and make this building accessible for all into the future for generations. It's a $2.1 million project. It involves renovations on 3 levels and an elevator. If you were at your seat, you might have a postcard called the Penny Chronicles, which is about a current exhibition at the museum. That's a real treat and a lot more than you think it would be. You can get by there, it's $5 or free if you're a member. And there's probably somebody at your table who's been involved in the capital campaign. The capital campaign, as I said, is looking for $2,250,000. It has raised everything except $180,000. And there are people in this room that have been instrumental in making all of that happen and bringing themselves and others to the table. And the names of the major contributors are going to go on a wall outside the museum. So if you had any interest in Somerville arts, history, and culture, future generations, please let us tell you more about it or ask somebody at the table if they were already involved. So I thank you very much. And now I would like to introduce, for the second half of the program, our Chairman, Adam Portman. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. After nearly 2 decades in unprecedented run, Mayor Joseph Curtatone has taken the City of Hills to its highest peak. The Chamber appreciates the work you have done for our city and understanding the importance of building a strong public and private partnership. We wish you and your family the very best as you move on to your next chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome Mayor Joseph Curtatone.
Thank you, Adam. Good evening. Are you kidding me? How long? First time I've been at a banquet in 20 months. Good evening. Come on. Some pretty dark days, and we're not out of it. I know we're all done with COVID. It's not done with us. I still get those calls. Which business is struggling? Hoping they can survive. Who's being evicted? Who lost a life? But I want to thank you for standing side by side with us in some, say, uncertain and historic times is understating it, and it's good to see you all. It is medicinal to be around folks, and if we continue to lean on each other, we'll come out stronger. It's kind of reflecting back, I haven't really had a chance to do that, and think about, hopefully some funny stories, and thinking about some of the people in this room. I remember being in this room 18 years ago, and there was a transition in leadership. Then Mayor Dorothy Kelly Gay was mayor, and I was coming in, and I gave a speech, and I was heading off to Baltimore to meet with who became a close friend then, Mayor Martin O'Malley, who became governor of Maryland and ran for president, because I was impressed by his vision of not only emulating but developing the best practices and incorporating the best practice of the private sector, developing new standards in the public sector to deliver effective, accountable services. I'm going to get to that in a second, because I do want to say a few things about people in this room. And I'll be kind, Mike. You already warned me about this. So I have been, anybody who served in this position will tell you, and Katiana will tell you at some point, the most privileged and lucky person to grow up in this city, just up the street, to be mayor of the city I love. That was a home of opportunity for an Italian immigrant family, a kid from Somerville High. And I've had and I don't take that lightly. I haven't had a chance to reflect. I'll probably do more reflection tonight than in the last 20 months. At some point, I'll have to give a little bit more thought. I get lost a lot of questions. What's the thing you wish you accomplished? I don't know, everything. The job's never done. You told me that, Mike. What's the thing you regret? A lot. And what's the thing you love the most? And there's so many things to talk about, but I want to focus on this, that collective compact, social compact we all buy into, whether you know it or not. That promise that we keep, that ladder that we climb and who's on it, and why we do what we do. This goes back many years. So, this is important because I want to tell a few stories. But first, I do want to give a shout out to anyone who has the guts to put their name on an elected ballot. I really do. I commend people. Some of them were so fortunate to have 3 incredible candidates for mayor. And listen, and it was a tight race. And it's such a tough choice to such good people with values and a compass. And you'll hear from our elected mayor, but I do want to call out someone who gives everything of herself selflessly to this community, Mary Casesso, who's in the back of the room. Mary, thank you for doing that. And so all these of you have served in elected office as well over the years, and you were rightfully and recognize Denise Provost for her service, and many others in this room who I've had the opportunity to serve with. We stand, as we think about climbing that ladder, we stand on each other's shoulders. I'm kind of joking, we have 3 former and 1 soon-to-be former mayor and a future mayor here. And I've learned something from all of them and all of you. Whether we agreed or disagreed, trust me, we've disagreed a lot. We'll go laugh about it. And I've learned something on a human, professional, and political level from all of them. From Jean about the need to surround yourself with talent, committed people. From Mike Capuano, watching, and Mike and I disagreed a lot, we became really good friends of the year, but the tireless commitment, watch that light at City Hall at 10 o'clock at night, and don't forget where you come from and who you're working for, the people of this community. I never forget that. Dorothy Kelly Gay to lead with compassion. And when I became mayor, I ran against it. There was no one more magnanimous of someone coming into a new administration to help us succeed. Let me tell you something about the folks and standing on them, because I'll talk about what we've done collectively in the business side in the city. They, ask where they are now. They're in our community, raising money for our civic institutions, and they've done so unheralded for years. They're committed to that social compact, that ladder. I tell everyone, I climbed that ladder for Somerville. It's unbelievable. I don't have to look over my shoulders, 81,000 people, for what? We have one ladder of an orienting value to make this an exceptional place to live, work, play, raise a family. Here in this room, even the business private sector side, we understood that need to work collectively oriented by value and deliver that impact. When I talk about what we've done together and what is possible, you'll be inspired of what we can do. And I'm excited and inspired for the future because standing on our shoulders is the next mayor of Somerville. She will be exceptional. She is smart, passionate. She's already working in City Hall. I have to knock on the door and make sure she goes home at night, Tatiana Ballantyne. And I can't wait. We are fully committed to make sure she exceeds the success we've all had standing on our shoulders and leads us into the future. Please join me in wishing her well. Let's give her, support her, and give her a chance. Yeah. And I would be remiss, a lot of the members of the city government are at a community meeting. I know because I had to sneak out to help launch the meeting. The city councilor, Kristen Strezza, was here. The success of any organization in the city is the product of many hands. We stand in this position of transactional authority because you elected us. If I have any advice to give Tatiana, it's what everyone here has told me. Lead with compassion. Surround yourself with good people. Be a good listener. Have empathy. Make a decision based on that compass and that value. You remember when I came into office, I said to Mike, he said, "You ready for this?" I said, "Yeah, I get it. You make a decision, 20% of the people are upset with you." He says, "No, that's wrong." I said, "Really? It's not that bad?" I said, "No, it's usually 55-45. It was pretty right. But we sleep well at night if we are guided by those values. So many years ago, I'm laughing because I think the first time I met Steve Mackey, Tom Bent, we were arguing about graffiti. Now I remove it. And I got to admit, those guys in my Cap1 had good fun with me for many, many months. But what I loved about working with those folks, no matter how we disagreed or argued, was for the right reasons. And we always never forgot who we're working for. They came together, and we don't hear enough of this. We would listen, you reach across people who have empathy and accept with grace those who disagree with us, and you work together. Again, everything we do and succeed is the product of many hands. So coming to mayor here, in 2000, elected in 2000 and 2004, I relied on all these folks, all their leadership, people in our community, business owners, homeowners, activists, advocates, as part of one compact. And we sought to create an administration that was exemplary for public administration and make the case of importance, how that ties to people, place, and planet, to that social impact. That is important. There are those who say too much government is no good, or government has no place, no role. Wrong. It has a critical role to play. We set the policy that creates the environment for the best possible outcomes. Not to tell you what to do, how you live, whether or not you'll be able to have that chance to start a business, succeed, send your kids to school. That's what they all did, and they all taught me. And we taught each other. So together, if you go back, I mean, we hit some tough times financially over the years in Somerville. From Proposition 2.5 when Gene was there, from the mid-year budget cuts and other cuts when Mike was mayor, twice back-to-back in less than a year when Dorothy was mayor, and came in, and then that Great Recession. What we decided today to learn from each other is we need to set our own destiny for a sustainable future, economically, and opportunity, tied to that social compact, back to people, place, and planet. So we relied on the people in this room like Sandra McGoldrick, those in the finance industry that guided us on the types of fiscal policies we wanted to adopt. Work with members of the Board of Aldermen. Jack, you were on the board, others there, Kathy on the council, to set fiscal policy that would be exemplary. So we act today with an eye on tomorrow, make tough choices with that compass, and be in a position to grow our community and make the right investments. We said, as a community, Vlad Benoit, I'm excited. I remember Vlad when I coached him in high school. He was in a leadership role. I'm not surprised. Talked about summer vision. In the Great Recession, we said, we are going to take control. We are no longer going to wait to see if we're relying on state aid, which at the time more than 40% of our revenues came from state aid. We can't do that. So we have to think about how in this 4.1 square miles, we set the table for the next great thing. So I'm laughing as I hear, smiling at Tom. Remember all these great companies are here. from the ones tonight to Finch Pharmaceuticals, and they stayed in Somerville, and the greatest expansion of life sciences since the inception and birth of Kendall Square, not done by some organization or state, by Somerville, by the people in this room, by the advocates and activists, by the residents who said, we need to chart a new frontier, then invest that back to people, place, and planet. I remember, Mike, remember iRobot? My first chamber dinner here, there was this great company called iRobot, and we recognized, and rightfully so, as the new innovative company. They started off on the second floor of Twin City Plaza, and then 3 days later they left. And Mike said, someone should have asked why they were here in the first place. But it's an example, if we don't take control, because there's a lot of reasons why you can set the table for the next great thing. The land assembly needed, the lack of infrastructure investment, the zoning policies, the planning policies. We had to decide who we wanted to be when we grow up, and we did that in Somerville, to be an exceptional place, live, work, play, raise a family, grow old and start a business, and tie that back to our goals around mobility, sustainability, public health, education. And we are crushing it as a community because we made those decisions collectively. The community, business owners, activists, advocates, property owners, anyone who wanted to be part of this community owned that work. From Summer Vision 2030 to Summer Vision 2040. So let me tell you a little bit. I had to get some stats of what we've accomplished as a community. Gene Barone, Mike Capuano, Dorothy Kelly Gay were exceptional administrators. They literally scratched nickels to make a dime in the city. And whatever we succeeded here had to do a lot with their reforms on the administrative level and some key things that get on have no mention to set the table. So in the last 18 years, we built 4,100 net new housing units, 2.8 million square feet of commercial development complete or under construction, 8 more projects, totaling another 3.3 million of commercial development. Again, the greatest expansion of life science and biotech, and the home of the largest climate tech incubator in North America, Greentown Labs. Greentown Labs. Business development. The number of new businesses in Somerville since 2003 has grown 62%. 846 total since 2003, which is started on job growth. We created Summer Vision because for the previous 20 years, our job growth was almost flat. Almost flat. 85% of the people that had a job were leaving Somerville every day to go to Kendall Square or someplace else outside the region. How do we create that upper story daytime tendency so local businesses, small mom and pops on Main Street, restaurants thrive? Because they weren't going to survive just on Thursday and Friday nights. Small retail operations. Private sector employment in Somerville has grown by 40% and continuing. 7,923 total new jobs since 2003. And with new buildings under construction, this number will reach 38,000 by 2025. Now, mind you, when, we'll talk about the Green Line in a second, Mike, when the state, we had to make an item in the state in the Green Line project, which was legally required, we reminded them that it'll create at least 30,000 new jobs, exceeding that. More than $3 billion of net new activity to the Commonwealth, more than 10,000 units of housing in a region that is in a housing crisis. That is fascinating. What has it meant financially to the city? The stabilization fund balance in Somerville when we took over was $380,000. Thankfully, it wasn't for those folks. We didn't have a dime. We survived. $64 million today. Fund equity from $15 million to $75 million. The highest bond rating in the city's history, and the next mayor is going to get us to AAA. One more step. No pressure. She's going to do it. I'm telling you, she's going to do it. And we're going to help her. That means important borrowing. And working collectively, we asked each other to take risks climbing this ladder. We asked the Board of Aldermen of past and city councils to vote on things. And when I came on the board, we gave Mike Capuano a hard time about a library project. It might have been $10 million. So in the midst of a Great Recession, when every major development project or assembly, we didn't know what was going to happen. Mike Capuano was a congressman. Members of the community, the business community worked together. Steve, Tom, Sandra, we lobbied. The Board of Aldermen, and Jack was on the board, $25 million district improvement financing bond, unheard of. Totally, we invested at that point $133 million in public money into infrastructure that leveraged an initial $1.5 billion investment. By the way, Assembly, as you look at it today, it's going to double in the next 36 months. The Green Line project, which was legally required, because of the way we approach it collectively as a community, climbing that ladder, following that compass, the council, Board of Aldermen, agreed to pay $50 million. We'll ante up $50 million to make sure it happens, even though it's legally required. By the way, we're getting that money back. It's coming back because of the work we did here. The council has voted for more than $100 million in Union Square. Another big project. The bottom line is because we understand the intersectionality of what we do. We want it as a community, not as a community. This is a fascinating community that wants more development, done right. That ties back to people, place, and planet. We believe in these values. We believe that we need to plan a city for people, not cars. And to make the case and how that helps Main Street businesses, helps us achieve our climate goals and economic goals. It's important because we follow that compass together. I want to give a big shout out to the best economic development and planning team in the country. There's only 2 here tonight because everybody else is working a neighborhood meeting. Tom Galligani, the head of the economic development. Where's Tom? Stand up, Tom. The best executive at any planning, a community development agency in any city in this country, any city, George Prowakis. Stand up, George. They stood on other shoulders. Mike Lavin, Ed Doherty and others, many others, people that work for Dot and Mike and Gene. It has not been easy. It's been exciting. And the sky's the limit. So on the COVID response, I want to thank all of you. They were tough meetings. I remember being in those meetings. Jess, thanks for you leading all the advice and context you can give us to help to do it right. I would tell, and I stole this again from Mike. So you got any advice from me? He says, tell people what you know, tell them what you don't know, and tell them why you're doing it. There's not more you can do. That's what we would tell you. I said, we got nothing, no good news of convenience. We are one community, and we're not going to do things for convenience to jeopardize anyone's life. I thank you for your patience. I understand you're angry with us at times. I appreciate what you've done, and your cooperation, flexibility saved lives. It's hard to document that, saved lives. So on the business side, led by the counselors like Counselor Valentine and others, Georgian's team, Tom, all of you, Jessica Eshelman and other from Main Street, the Chamber. We did something unprecedented in Somerville. As other mayors, we lobbied the governor to put forth more than $600 million in the legislature directly to small businesses, especially restaurants. We got, because of what we did over the years, collectively, we directly paid businesses to help them and their employees more than $7 million to get through it. And we're still stressed just to survive. We worked together to reclaim the public realm and dismiss fees for liquor licenses and other permits just to get by. And we understand that we're still stressed in many sectors and we're going to continue moving forward. So we made more than 410 Somerville COVID small business grants, totaling over $4.1 million, and more to come. We're going to get the rest of the money out. We waived more than $1 million in annual licenses and fees to small business owners in Somerville during the pandemic. And believe me, your new mayor, your next mayor, she's all in on this stuff too. And assistance to residents in need too. You're a big part of it. Food for free. If it wasn't for food for free, we brought food to people. We delivered groceries. And all in the businesses, the chamber worked together, led by those stalwarts, Steve, Tom, Sandra, Adam, and so many people to help out the neediest of our community, the vulnerable. Remember, we're still a community of haves and have-nots. And that's important to remember because the people that were getting sicker were folks like many of us who are privileged, in a better position, have better health outcomes. The people that were dying weren't frequenting those businesses. Those are the people who had to take public transportation that the state wanted to cut to go to the jobs, to support our conveniences at their own risk just to feed their families. The number you gave me now from Food for Free of the number of people seeking basic needs is startling. I hope if one thing we learned from the pandemic, is to shine this glaring light on all the inequities in the whole system. With our ARPA money coming in, which is historic, working with the community, the business community, the council, we have an opportunity to address that, and Somerville sets that standard again. We've been lauded in a recent Harvard Business School case study as a model, how you use analytics to unlock a culture of curiosity and abnormality to do both things. We don't do it in a vacuum, we do it on all our values, all that work together. It's important we continue to make the case. It's important we tie the success that we alluded to here back to creating opportunity and community wealth, back to people, Place and Planet. Those are not colliding themes. They're inextricably tied. We could not have done it without the leadership in this room. A couple more shout outs. Steve Mackey has been in every meeting known to God since I met him in 1996. All right? Tom Bent has been the most affordable representative on any board, paid or unpaid. Tom Bent, Brad Rawson, and their teams have brought more than $4 billion of public transportation money to the city of Somerville. And one more thing, Mike, you don't take enough credit. When that green line opens up, and he doesn't open up, it's all good. When the green line opens up for full operation, make sure you thank that guy there, because as mayors, elected officials, we have to go to a lot of wakes. I said I've been to more wakes about the green line than anything else. Through the negotiations, the broken promises, I'd have to call Mike Capelano and say, Mike, I'm going to do this. What should I do? What are you hearing? Don't worry about it. Keep going. Just go ahead. We got you covered. It would never die in Washington because that guy fell on a sword for it. Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't mean to be long-winded because I really I'm excited to hear about someone I really admire. Your next mayor should be introduced, but I want to thank you all for what you do for making a real smart investment in Somerville. It is only going to keep going. But remember that ladder that we're all on. If you're not on, jump on. You want to be on it. I'm still going to be part of this city, as former mayors, and I do want to recognize, again, the former mayor of Medford, a big fan of Stephanie Mussini-Burke, who's here. Again, these folks don't go away. We're part of the civic institution. My wife, Nancy, who I'll give one shout out, has been patient with me for 26 years in elected office, came tonight. I can't wait to see what we all do together. I'm glad to be here, Steve. I was excited we could do at least one more as mayor at Chamber event. And God bless you. Appreciate it.
After serving Somerville as city councilor at Ward 7 since 2014, where she was twice elected city council president, Mayor-elect Katiana Ballantyne will follow Dorothy Kelly Gay as just the second woman to be elected mayor of Somerville. Mayor-elect Ballantyne was born and orphaned in Greece and immigrated to the U.S. when she was just 4. She is the first in her family to go to college and later received her MBA. She has worked for inclusive, open government, affordability, diversity, responsible economic development, and economic sustainability, and will continue. Mayor-elect Ballantyne will bring 30 years of experience as a businesswoman, a public servant, and an immigrant to the office. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming our new mayor, Mayor-elect Katiana Ballantyne.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for that. It's great to see everybody here. I want to thank you, Adam, for the introduction, and congratulations on becoming the new chair for the Chamber of Commerce, Somerville. Thank you, Kevin, for your distinguished service, and congratulations to all the award winners tonight. You make this city proud. Thank you so much. Of course, there's another person in this room who I want to recognize. I have to recognize because you've been in office for 18 years, so soon to be 18 years. Mayor Curtatone, for your many years of outstanding, passionate, out-of-the-box leadership and service to our city. Can we please once again give a hand to Mayor Curtatone? I'm honored to be here, just as honored to be the mayor-elect of Somerville. I want you to know that I brag about Somerville to my friends and family who don't live here. I tell them the residents love to be engaged and involved, that Somerville has an incredible, incredible brain trust, and so many compassionate people willing to do the work. that our business community isn't just notable for its inventors, the jobs you create, and so many awesome restaurants and bars and neighborhood shops, but that our entrepreneurs and business owners are also always ready to step up, take on a shared challenge, and move Somerville forward. That matters because so many in Somerville, including so many of you in this room, volunteer their activism, their ideas, energy. Somerville accomplished things that elected officials could never do alone. I'm optimistic about our future because I know from experience that we can take on anything when we work together. And we are going to need to work together. The past 21 months of the pandemic has placed burdens on our local businesses, workers, and none of us could have imagined. Sudden income loss, supply chain disruption, workers' lives impacted by illness or childcare needs, unexpected changes to operations, pandemic rules to navigate and enforce, and in short, the challenges for businesses have been both significant and constant. The poet, Robert Frost, is credited with saying, "The only way out is through." I want to acknowledge the work you have done, both independently within your own doors and collaboratively with the city and the community to help Somerville get through this historic pandemic. Please take a moment to applaud your fortitude and determination. I wish I could say that COVID-19 is behind us. But if there's one thing that is clear about this virus, it is that we should not underestimate its ability to surprise us. The course of the pandemic remains unclear, but one thing we know is that impacts to how we live, work, shop, dine, and do business will likely remain for some time, meaning continued challenges lie ahead. I want you to know, as mayor, I will be there right with you. I am well aware that our businesses, large and small, are the lifeblood of our community, creating the tax revenues that help fund our values and goals, the jobs that provide our residents opportunities, and anchoring the lively squares and business districts that form the heartbeat of this unique city. I'm telling you right now, my administration will start from the strong foundation laid by Mayor Curtatone and his staff, and we will continue to work closely with you to ensure that you and your businesses have every opportunity to thrive, grow, and help shape our path forward. Whether looking to how we can best leverage federal ARPA recovery funds, advance the efforts of our economic development, streamline and improve city processes, and collaborate with the chamber, we will be ready to roll up our sleeves and get to work with you. I ran for mayor because I believe that our next mayor needs to have 3 key qualities. She must embody the cultures and values of Somerville. She must have an inclusive leadership style, and she must have the skills and experience to be chief executive of our truly dynamic city. I will put all of these qualities to work for our city, including our business community, and I look forward to your input, your ideas, your insight, your collaboration, and even your complaints. So we know what we need to address. Together, we will get through. I already know many of you, but I also look forward to getting to know you better. I'll start that process by sharing a little bit about my story, although Adam spoke a little bit about it. I was born and orphaned in Greece. I was adopted there by my Scottish father, hence the name Ballantyne, and my Czech-German mother, so my first name is Eastern European. We're a family of immigrants from 3 different countries. We immigrated together when I was 4. I was and am still sometimes ridiculed and excluded because of our differences. The foods we ate were different. The clothes we wore were different. Our accents were different, and sometimes simply our culture was different. And even though I became a U.S. citizen as a teenager, as an adult, I've been sometimes told that I'm not a real American because I wasn't born here. Through this experience, I have learned firsthand that some people are afraid of differences. In 1993, though, I moved to this place called Somerville. Here, I discovered a city that was fast changing, but it was embracing its differences, its diversity, and its progressive values. Somerville was a place I thought I could fit in. I felt welcomed and included. I'm grateful that my husband, Rick, and I put down our roots and raised our 2 daughters here. My family and my experience as an immigrant has taught me to value differences. So now, one of my operating principles is to include everyone. That's the right thing to do. It works because our community accomplishes our greatest achievements when everyone has a seat at the table. My career has spanned the world of business, government, nonprofit, and advocacy. One benefit of that is I've seen and lived these varied sides of the social progress equation. So I know it's possible to have meaningful public impact regardless of where you start from and where you land. I was the first and only one in my family to go to college. I worked 2 jobs, took out loans to get a BA and an MBA. From there, I went on to 30 years of work in international business, in startups, and about 15 years in, I had paid off my college loans, and so I moved into the nonprofit world. I wanted to do mission-driven work, something that really spoke to me, because when I came here to Somerville, I'd been volunteering in so many things, whether it was the schools or whether it was sitting on the board of directors of Somerville Community Corporation, an affordable housing developer. And I have experience in local government. While working in a public corporation, I learned the values of processes, procedures, the impacts of scaling multi-million-dollar companies, and the responsibility to the community that come with that. While working in startups, I learned the value of innovation and fast-moving pace with all hands on deck, thinking out of the box and being entrepreneurial. While working in small and mid-sized nonprofits, I learned to love the principle of camping, because anything might happen and one always needs to be prepared. Along the way, I've served almost 8 years now on the city council and twice elected city council president. So I've learned a thing or two about this city and that it's possible and so necessary to shape your own future as a community. In all these varied roles, I have worked to support residents in our most vulnerable communities, the majority of whom are women of color. I've strived, helped individuals develop tools to find jobs, job access, training, career ladders, and even living wages or higher. I worked to get affordable housing built and to fight displacement. I worked for green economy jobs and energy efficiency. I led a violence prevention nonprofit for at-risk girls. I pushed initiatives to ensure all are heard and have equitable access to resources. I pursue environmental sustainability and justice through the Somerville Native Species Ordinance, the LEED Platinum efficiency rating for zoning, and the Somerville Green New Deal, among other initiatives that I led as a city councilor. It's worth repeating, my leadership experience in business and local government has taught me that inclusive leadership creates shared purpose, enthusiasm, and most importantly, better results. As we set a new course, I will draw from all these experiences and from you. I know we can build an even better and stronger community through inclusion, collaboration, and genuinely caring about our neighbors. I look forward to hearing the stories of our business leaders who share my love for our city and the passion to make it a place of opportunity where we can all thrive, whether students, families, individuals, or our businesses. I want to repeat the word thrive. My vision for Somerville is a thriving city where all voices are heard, where all the access to our resources and that opens the doors for true equity. Again, I want to thank the community, Mayor Curtatoni's administration, the City Council, the Chamber, for the deep and impactful work already done to pursue this goal. To stay on track, I will also be calling you to join in taking on the challenges, whether it's creating healthy neighborhoods, mitigating climate change impacts, or striving for racial, social, economic, cultural, and environmental equity. As mayor, I hope to work with you as we set the highest standards for strategic planning, using best practices, data, community insight, so that our economic development thoughtfully advances the goals and seizes the opportunities by our community. For more than 2 decades, I think it's 1999, I went to my first community meeting about Assembly Row, and Mystic View Task Force hosted those, and soon after that, it was Somerville Transportation Equity Partnership, and as a city councilor to help create a vision and the realization of mixed-use, transit-oriented, smart growth development that is delivering on our community's painstakingly developed summer vision goals right now. The good work of the Curtatoni administration has moved the dial on housing, affordable housing, job creation, business opportunities, infrastructure investments, and human investments in our students, seniors, workers, families, and our most vulnerable. But we all know there is more work to do, and that needs to be done. I've worked for 3 decades in local community development corporations and as a city councilor to help create job training programs, job linkage ordinance, supporting of the talent equity plan so that local residents have access to jobs created by local development. As mayor, I hope to work with you to prepare Somerville residents and connect them to the local jobs you create. As mayor, I'll invest in our residents, children, and families so we can all thrive. As CEO of Girls Leap, I created programs for at-risk girls and young women, giving them the tools to keep physically and emotionally safe. As city councilor, I created Invest in Girls to give girls in Somerville equal funding for programming, where girls of color could empower themselves. As councilor, I wrote the legislative order to create the Guaranteed Income Program trial in Somerville to support low-income mothers. I mention these initiatives because when residents thrive, when they are prepared to contribute as workers, when they are able to earn needed income, and when they spend those earnings into our local economy, our local businesses also have more opportunity to thrive. We cannot talk of progress for all and a thriving community, however, without taking on racial and social justice. We must ensure that our local city structures and systems and our businesses do not enable racism. The city's Racial and Social Justice Office is staffing up now. Grassroots efforts are underway as well. I'm calling on all of you now to support this work and join our commitment to root out systemic racism wherever and whatever form we find it. As mayor, I'm committed to taking on these fundamental challenges: racism, climate change, affordable housing. We need to end food insecurity. We need safe places for our most vulnerable children so their parents can seek opportunities. We should do this by providing universal pre-K and universal after-school enrichment so that education outcomes will not depend only on family status. We need public safety that works for everyone without bias, that brings residents the mental health and recovery services that they need. We need to celebrate and invest in the arts and maker community that makes Somerville so vibrant and injects dollars into our local economy. We need to invest in our schools and youth. We need to ensure that our seniors can grow old with joy and dignity here. We need to bridge the digital divide for both our residents and businesses. We need to rebuild our infrastructure so that we have complete, safe streets that work for all Somerville users. We need simply to put an end to our flooding and rodent problems. We need to ensure that all our businesses have an opportunity to thrive and advance our goals. Whether they are small businesses on our main streets, entrepreneurs working out of home offices, innovators in our incubators, or startups and industry-leading companies making their home here. We need an equitable pandemic recovery and a continued top-notch pandemic health response. I could go on. There is so much to do. But rather than continuing my to-do list, I want you to know, as your mayor, I'm all in. I'm all in. And as mayor, I'm asking you to all be in too. I know we can live our progressive values, nurture our institutions, invest in our people, champion our local businesses, keep our cities straight and safe, and keep building upon what's great here so we can all thrive together. Thank you.
Mayor-elect Ballantyne, we wish you the best of luck as you embark on the next chapter, and you've got some very big shoes to follow, but we will all be there supporting you. I'd also like to thank Mayor Curtatone, Mayor Emeritus Gene Brune. Is he still with us tonight? Okay. Mayor Dot Kelly Gay, Mayor and Congressman Capuano, and Barbara, thank you so much, because when you really look around and see what the city of Somerville has accomplished, it can't be accomplished with one person. It's the infrastructure and the foundation of so many of these great mayors that have truly loved this city. So we all thank you. For those of you that may not know me, I'm Sandra McGoldrick. I'm President and CEO of Winter Hill Bank. And tonight, thank you. And tonight, I certainly have the pleasure of being here with all of you and seeing all of you with no masks. It's just wonderful. Adam, as you were talking about looking for your pants for a Zoom meeting, or I got a chuckle out of that because I was trying to find a dress that fit me. So anyways, but it's good, and I'm glad to see everyone. So I want to thank everybody and let you know that it's a pleasure to be here tonight with all of you. I am thrilled to see your faces. And as a past recipient of the John W. Fitzgerald Lifetime Achievement Award, and someone with deep ties to Somerville, I am honored to introduce tonight Lifetime Achievement Award recipient Gilda Noguera. Gilda is president and CEO of East Cambridge Savings Bank, and we've become great friends. Gilda's career in banking spans nearly 45 years. She has worked for the bank since 1977 and has served as CEO since 2012. She is someone with deep ties to this city that we all love so much. After Gilda's family moved to Somerville when she was a child, they lived on Waterhouse Street and then Monroe Street before finally settling on Willow Avenue. She attended the Cutler School. All of us will remember the Weston Junior High School and Somerville High School. Gilda's professional accomplishments are many, and she is a staunch advocate for the banking industry and believes it is the responsibility of the business leaders to give back to the communities they serve and industries they represent. She serves on numerous banking industry boards and advisory groups that include the following, pretty prestigious. Currently serves as the chair of the board of the Massachusetts Depositors Insurance Fund. She serves as a board member of the Connecticut Online Computer Center in the banking industry. For those of you that are here, it's also known as COCC. She's a member of the Massachusetts Banking Association Charitable Foundation Board, member of the American Bankers Association Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Advisory Committee, past chair of the Massachusetts Bankers Association, and past president of the Federal Reserve's Community Depository Institutions Advisory Council, working with the Board of Governors on matters of banking law and practices that affect the banking industry's ability to serve local commitments. I think we're going to have some changes coming down the line here. She has also represented our industry on Capitol Hill and with our representatives in Washington time and time again, which is so sorely needed. Gilda is passionate about supporting the cities and towns where East Cambridge operates and serves on numerous nonprofit organizational boards, including past president and current member of the Somerville Rotary Club, Cambridge YMCA, the Cambridge Matanon School, Medford Public Library Foundation, Cambridge Chamber of Commerce, and previously on the Somerville Chamber of Commerce. East Cambridge Savings Bank is a longtime supporter of many Somerville organizations, including Second Chances, Community Cooks, Somerville Homeless Coalition, Respond, Somerville Community Corporation, the Somerville YMCA, to name the few. And I have to add one more. You all heard about the Somerville Museum tonight. A couple of weeks ago, or maybe months ago, I don't know, I called Gilda and she just said, "How much do you need?" Very, very supportive, and I want to thank you for that, Gilda. Gilda is someone who believes that commitment to community is more than just writing out a check. She believes in getting personally involved to help when needed in big ways and small ways. At the beginning of the pandemic, when Mother Maureen at the Little Sisters of the Poor could not get enough basic supplies, Gilda procured sanitizing wipes, cleaning supplies, and thermometers, and personally delivered them to the Somerville home on Highland Avenue. Gilda and East Cambridge Savings are also deeply committed to the success of small businesses in Somerville. The bank has partnered with numerous business owners to help them grow and thrive. And during the pandemic, the bank helped many Somerville businesses stay open so they could continue getting their paycheck. I think it is safe to say that the Somerville Chamber's nominating committee made the right choice in choosing Gilda. Her other past accolades include Bankers and Tradesmen, Woman of Fire in 2013, the Paul Harris Fellow by Rotary International, 2014 and 16, the Boy Scouts of America, Lady Baden-Powell Award in 2015, the Good Neighbor Community Hero Award by the New England Financial Marketing Association in 2016. She was named one of the top 100 women in business in Massachusetts by the Commonwealth Institute and the Boston Globe magazine for consecutive years. And lastly, the Cambridge Family and Children's Service Avon Children's Friend Award in 2019. Tonight, we are thrilled to add the 2021 John W. Fitzgerald Lifetime Achievement Award from the Somerville Chamber of Commerce to the list. It's an impressive list. Gilda is a graduate of Lesley University, the National School of Banking, America's Community Bankers at Fairfield, and the New England School of Banking, Mass Bankers Association at Babson. Though very modest about her professional accomplishments, she is quick to voice both pride and appreciation of her beautiful family. She is a member of 4 adult children and a grandmother of 9. But before we hear from Gilda, let's just watch this brief video clip. And I told Gilda earlier, I was glad that I was up before the video. It's very impressive. Thank you.
I started as a part-time teller. I was a teenager in high school and needed a part-time job. A friend told me that the bank was hiring, you should apply. I came in. So I started as a high school student who was looking for spending. A part-time job became a full-time job. A full-time job became a career. And I've been very fortunate along the way. Why did I stay all this time? Well, I love the business. I quickly learned that I really enjoy banking. And I especially enjoy being able to be in a business environment, but supporting and giving of yourself. The sense of community has always been there. And I connected with that. So if I have an ability to help, shame on me if I don't do that. So whether it's personally in helping, or it's as the leader of an organization, what an opportunity I've been handed. That's the reality of it. I have been very fortunate to work among some wonderful, wonderful individuals that today I have the honor and the pleasure of calling friend. But it was that support system that encouraged me along the way, even when I was ready to give up. They never gave up on me. It's an honor and a pleasure to serve as the president of the East Cambridge Savings.
Congratulations, Bob. You were truly one of the hardest working people I know. What you have been able to accomplish is inspirational to so many. But the side you most people don't get to see is how you make those around you feel. You find time for them and make sure that they feel like the most important person at any time. This is the person you inspired me to be. We are so proud of you and thankful for everything that you do.
We love you.
We love you.
I love you, so proud of you.
Mom, congratulations. We are so proud of you and love you.
The more I experience life and motherhood, the more I appreciate what you've done for us. You're a remarkable woman, trusted friend, and cherished mother. Love you, Mom. We love you, Lolita. It's your inspiration, drive, and support that has influenced the person that I am today. I'm both fortunate and proud to call you my mom. We love you, Lolita.
do you follow that? That was beautiful. Good evening. And I'd like to begin by thanking Stephen Mackey, the Chamber staff, the Chamber Board, Vladimir Benoit, I heard today, and the nominating committee. You know, as a banker and someone with close ties to Somerville, I truly am a bit shaken. I didn't. That was beautiful. I truly appreciate what you all do for the city. I also want special thanks to my bank colleagues and board members who are here tonight, and to my husband, who I do drag along to many functions and events. He's retired, but now he has to get dressed for these things. Sandra, I can't thank you enough for that introduction, for your kind words. That was so beautifully done. I am thrilled to be here tonight, and it's an absolute honor and privilege to be presented with the Chamber's John Fitzgerald Lifetime Achievement Award. It's a wonderful feeling when you are recognized by peers, by friends, by families. But for me, I'm just doing my job. Like everyone here, we're all doing the best that we can to represent our organizations and the communities that we are a part of, that we serve. It's with tremendous pride that I accept this award. And it's an award that gives me continued inspiration to lead the bank, to give back where we can, and to help our customers grow and thrive. I just hope that this Lifetime Award doesn't mean that you're put on the shelf. I don't think I'm ready to be there. But in my role as CEO, I am incredibly fortunate for the opportunity to stay connected to this community. Somerville has had a special place in my heart. And for as long as I can make a difference, I will show up, I will help where I can. And as a member of a community and a local business leader, there is a responsibility for all of us to pay it forward. This leads me to 3 thoughts that I wanted to share with you tonight. One of them partly based on the words of a friend, a Boston attorney, another Somerville girl, who many of you know. Regina Pisa has been known to say, we have a responsibility to give back to a city where we make our living. In today's Somerville of startups, corporate headquarters, the growing life sciences sector, that could not be more true. So no matter what industry we are in, we have a responsibility to educate, to mentor, to encourage the next generation who will become the business leaders. At the bank, we have encouraged this through our job training programs with many high schools, including Somerville High School, and always doing our part to provide part-time jobs and summer work for local youth. These early job experiences, the investment in our youth, help now by keeping our young people busy, working, and learning skills, but it also may unlock a lifelong career. Where possible, we as business leaders need to find opportunities in local schools and not-for-profits to help with job training and placement, to help someone younger or older who has the potential but just needs a place to start. Next is the importance of supporting the smaller, more grassroots nonprofit organizations. We are so fortunate to have so many great organizations in Somerville, so many of which have been already named tonight. Supporting these locally based organizations with money, time, and talent is a good investment in community. They know how to stretch the dollar, but more importantly, they know how to get the funding and the resources to the people who need it the most and directly to those resources, to those individuals. Lastly, looking around this room, I think about why organizations like Chambers of Commerce were founded in the first place. The gathering of civic-minded and generous businesses who want to help each other succeed and improve quality of life. We truly can be stronger together when we support local and independent businesses. And yes, of course, that includes local banks. Somerville is a vibrant, inclusive, and growing city with an incredible future. Our local economy can be stronger, more resilient when we are business leaders, when we call on each other, whether it be in a time of crisis, as we did over the last 18 months, or in time of success. Again, I am incredibly honored to be here with you tonight and deeply humbled to accept this award. As someone who grew up here, to accept this award really brings it full circle. So again, my deepest thanks to the Chamber and the nominating committee, and a very special thanks to Leo Gain, who he is our public relations, community relations, oversees that area. Leo and the marketing team had a very creative, were very creative in using some of the video that I saw tonight. That was part of a marketing campaign that we did. And, but the addition of my children and my grandchildren has taken it to where I have no words to describe. So thank you, and I wish each of you health and happiness as we start the holiday season. Thank you again.
I want to thank Lou Carrier and the crew of the Holiday Inn for another fabulous evening of distinctive hospitality. I want to thank Stephen and Joanne for doing an amazing job of putting this on. And I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight and dropping your mask for such an important night. Be safe, good night, and have a happy Thanksgiving.